That's all for the presentation. Stay tuned for the next part. Hi everyone, I'm Filippo Maestri, head of the EMEA Dental Application Engineer team. I'm here with Judith. Together, we will show you a practical demonstration of this amazing brand new Shining3D product. Let's start defining a simple ortho case to proceed with the acquisition phase. Pressing the button on the scanner body, we can start the scan phase. Look how easy and smooth the scan process is. The software user interface ensures an easy and smooth scan experience, ideal for both beginners and digital experts. With the new Aoralscan 3 wireless scanner, dentists can work in a completely free way without worrying about cable clutter. The dentist can scan for 2 hours without changing battery, and in case of low battery, the replacement process can be done in a blink of an eye. Let's complete the scan phase with the data of the lower arch. Okay, now look how fast and accurate the registration of the bite is. Let's complete the scan part with the raw data computation in order to see the amazing texture quality. Okay, the next function I'm going to show you are optional for the dentist.
So first, I will talk about the basic theory of our product. So we are going to use the triangulation measurement as our basic theory. So inside our scanner, there will be a light projector and a camera. And the light projector will generate the structured light, and those lights will reflect on our teeth. Then those light will be captured by our camera. But because it's a single camera system, so those lights captured by the camera will form a virtual standard plane. And based on this plane, all the measured points 3D dimensional coordinate information can be calculated by the angles and the distance between the projector, camera, and the virtual plane. So this is how we scan our teeth and build those 3D models. So just the information that you guys may want to know. So inside the first, okay, 有一点延迟. Okay, inside this flash drive, we will have these three folders, three kinds of files. This is the installer, and this is the menu, and this is additional part. And inside this folder, it also have part of the installation. So please remember, you need to copy all these three files, especially these two, to a folder on the desktop, and then run this installer. And please do not just copy only this one, only this installation. It will affect the, it will not have a complete installation. So just copy all of files in the your flash drive and to the folder in the desktop. Please remember that. Okay. So this is all the. So this is all the preparation we need to do before we are going to actually use the scanner. And next, we will, begin to show you how to use our scanner. So this is a workflow, and first I will introduce the main interface of our software, and then next is the calibration, and the settings, and finally is how to create an order. And as you can see, we have three different dentistry types. That means we have three different kinds of orders. First is restoration, another is the orthodontics, and the third is the check. I will go through each type one by one. And for the restoration, I will do two cases. One is in my mouth, and another I will scan for the for our implementation model. So let's go to the software. And because the network is not quite stable, I will turn off my video while I was scanning. So sorry, guys. So let's run the software. So this is the main interface for our software, and you can sign in at this right window. But if you do not have account, if you do not have account right now, you can click here to register. And as you can see, we will have three different kinds of the accounts. First is doctor, but usually the scanner is used by doctor, so most customers will register as the doctor. And also we have the lab and hospital account. So the difference between those three accounts is that the doctors scan the teeth, the patients, and send those scanned data to the lab account. And the lab account can download those data on our Shining3D Dental Cloud, but the doctors can't right now. But I heard that our R&D will change this. Both doctors and the lab account can download the model data. And for the hospital and the clinic account, it's more like a group that you can add the personal doctors as your members. So that's the difference. So when you finish all those information, you can click register, and it will give you an account. So let's back. Just sign in. And in this interface, on the left is the order creation menu, and on the right, all the the local orders is displayed in this window. So it will store the order in locally, and you can also choose to send those orders to a target lab that all those orders will be stored on our Shining3D Dental card. That is, a convenient way. And on this top right corner, this is the user profile. So in this user profile, it will contain some the contact information. And on the right, and there is connections. The connections means your doctor account that connect with a target lab. And if you want to add a new connection, you can just click new and type the account name. The lab name that you want to make a connection with, and the application will be sent to that lab. If the lab click the accept, that connection between you guys will be established. But please remember that only doctors' account can send those requirements for the connection, not the lab account. Lab account cannot send connection requests to the doctors. Only doctors can. So that's it. And the next is the calibration. So just simply click the calibration. And the calibration is very simple and easy. You just need to plug in the scanner to the calibrator and put them horizontally, and just click the start, and it will start calibration automatically. Usually this process will take 3 to 5 minutes, but yeah, you need to wait sometimes. And let's go back to the PowerPoint. Okay, so a very popular question about those calibration is that how often should we do the calibration? So I recommend to doing the calibration before every demonstration, especially for moving for a long distance. So okay, does iOS 3 has 1 or 2 cameras? So iOS 3 only have 1 camera. So it has 1 projector and 1 camera. Okay, let me continue the question. So we recommend to doing the calibration before every demonstration, and especially for moving for a long distance, because we want to you guys to have the best and most accuracy result in the demonstration. But if the scanner is put in the hospital or clinic, that only doctors will carry these scanners, room to room, and so at that situation, I think you can do the calibration like 1 every week or every 2 weeks. So it's not it doesn't require to you guys to do the calibration before every scan. Just for if you have to move out for a long distance, please do the calibration. Okay, let's go back to the software again. So so in this window, except you can do the calibration, you also can do the brightness adjustment. So here, so usually if you saw some abnormal scanning images, something like your gingiva is purple or more like some dark color is not red, so it means that you may need to do a brightness adjustment. But all the steps is same as the calibration. You just need to plug in the scanner and click start. It will done the brightness adjustment automatically for you. So yeah, it's very easy and simple. Okay, next is the settings. So in the settings, we have 4 different sections. First is the order settings. So this is some general settings, languages, and I think the software is already included majority languages on the list. And those are some general settings, and those is auto file naming rule, and you can adjust those rules by your need. And another important thing is that save format. So we can save our orders with different third-party format, for example, ExcelCAD, third-party. So this third-party order, that means 3 shape order. and dental wings odor. So you can choose anything you want. And next is scan settings. So I would suggest keep all those things default. And for this, scanner tip heating. So this heating is to prevent the fog that forms on your mirror at the scanner tip. So usually you just keep it low, but if you are in the very cold country, especially in the winter, I will suggest you to use the medium or high to heat quicker. Next is the pre-designed settings. So all those settings in the pre-designed settings are related to the health check report, which I will talk about later. So this is basically different options and sections that you can choose during the health check report. So yeah, we will go through this more detail in the check report, and then finally it's about section. So about section, there you can switch device type here. This software will support Aoralscan 3 and Aoralscan 2, but as I mentioned before, the official version of the software in the customer end is 3030. So it's not fully tested with Aoralscan 2, but as you can see, my version is 3043. That this is something like a beta version that is tested with Aoralscan 2. So you guys can use the. If you guys had Aoralscan 2, you can use this software very soon. So at the end of the software version, there is a option that called check for updates. So right now my version is the latest version. So you do not need to do download or something like that. But if there is other version available, you can update from here. And this is the device serial number. So this serial number is also in at the bottom of the scanner body. So these two should be seen, right? So and then another thing is the authorization remaining days. Usually all the scanners that came out of our factory is unlimited. But in case you receive some scanners that has limited days, you need to click here, apply for the authorization renewals, and then select unlimited here, and then click apply, and then we will review your application and approve the application. And finally, is device binding. So if you want to bind your device, you need to contact us, which is the dental support, and provide us your serial number, and we will bind this device for you. So this is pretty much everything about the settings. So next is we want to do the actual scan. Just click create order here. So in this interface on the left is some order information, including your patient name, patient code, doctors, and all those informations can be adjusted by the doctor's needs. And here is the dentistry type I talked before. So we got 3 different types: restoration, orthodontics, and chairs. Each of them have different functions. So I will go through the details later. And notes is you can delete a pre-written notes like this. So just write some notes that you think the lab needed to know. Okay. So in these 2 selections, so basically the doctors will create an order as they need. So right now I will do the 4-crown order as an example to introduce all those functions, the basic functions that our software can provide. Okay, so let's go to the PPT again. Presentation. So this is the first case today. It's a restoration type, and it's a 4-crown case. Does integrate volume? Okay, so inside this, during the scanning, we will have different, functions, and I will show you in the software. Go back to software again. So I will just select the aperture as the working draw, and select a teeth as the fulcrum, and next is the anti. And right now, this order is being created. Just click scan. So we go to the scan process. As you can see, there is 4 main steps on the top of the window. The order creation, and next is scan is what we are doing now. And then after scan, there will be a step called pre-design. And finally, it's send. You can send the order to the target, target lab. And on this, under this scan, there will be a different steps. First is the upper jaw, next is the lower jaw. Finally, is total jaw, which is a bite scan, right? And on this right corner, this icon indicates that the scanner tip is heated completely. But if if the heating process is not complete, this icon will show in the middle and give you some percentage for the how long you should wait for the heating. And this is the connection between your scanner with your laptop, and this image is in the sleeping mode. And here's the record of how many frames you have scanned. So we have the limitation of the 3,000 frames for one jaw, because but if you are doing the scan, usually it will not take more than 1,000 frames, and with more frames, it does not come with more accuracy result. But on the contrast, sometimes you scan with more frames, it will affect your result. So just keep in mind. Usually we will scan around 1,000, most time under 1,000. Next is the time recorder to record how long you have scanned. And in this right section is it's the editing tool. It will enable after you finish the scan. And on this section on the right down corner, it will include some different functions that I will go through one by one later. And before we scan before we do the intraoral scan, there's one important thing is that we need to turn on this intraoral function. When you turn on this intraoral function, as you can see, the AI function will be also turned on. So what does this AI function do? So let's go back to the PowerPoint again. So this AI function will automatically detect teeth and the gingiva around it, and it will not process other data like your tongue. So if you are trying to do the intraoral scan, you need to turn on this function to make your scan much more easier. It will ignore those data that you may not do, that is not necessary to use. So just remember, turn on this intraoral option when you do the intraoral scan, and this function will also increase the brightness for the scanner, because usually it's darker in the patient's mouth. So, but since the AI function will only detect the real teeth and the gingiva, so it will not collect data from physical model. So please remember that do not use AI function when you try to scan a model, and I will also do the demonstration later and show you when you open what will happen if you enable the AI function during scanning for the physical model.